I will answer this question right away. I refer to myself as an exile because I left my country with a visa, and I used an airplane to go to Germany. So I do that by myself. Okay, I didn't, run away from the regime, or I, I used the boat to travel to Germany through Turkey or Greece. Okay, and I think exile, it sometimes give you the both meaning. For example, you can exile yourself, or you think yourself as being exiled. Okay, you have these both feelings. So I prefer to refer to myself and as exile. In that case, I think I have two choices. The first one, I have to stay on that case. I have to face all of these dangers. And the second choice was to leave the country. And this was, my decision, because I think the future will be danger for me, and I'm not feeling secure. So for this reason, I have to leave. First of all, I'm working as a cartoonist, and at the same time, I was a professor academy in graphics art. So, and everything is going to change in Syria, okay? So you don't feel you can express your ideas, or you can say or face what's going on the ground. And as a cartoonist, I have to draw cartoons. And maybe these cartoons will be evidence against me. So I have to choose a safe country to express my ideas, okay, and to say my viewpoint against this tragedy in Syria. Actually, I can't say that, because first of all, my son has a study application to Germany, and he left the country, okay? And, on that time, Germany, it was the first choice for the Syrian, okay? And because I'm a professor and I have PhD, I went to the German embassy and I applied for the visa, Arbeitsvisum, okay? In that case, they give me that visa, and of course, I can come to Germany by myself. And on that time, we had an idea, because my son, he was in Germany, and I thought maybe he can ask for family reunion, okay? And after 1 year, my daughter, she took that visa for studying in Germany, and she left the country. So now the family, it's divided two sections. One of them in Germany, and my wife and me in Syria. So for this reason, we have to live together as a family, and this is the most important things in life, the family. Okay, so I follow my son and my daughter to Germany. And after that, after 2.5 years, my wife, she followed us too. Actually, Germany, it was really a comfortable country for us. We faced no problems, unless our problems. For example, I have a problem with language, for example. And I have to speak with other people with English, and that will be okay. And okay, that helped me to communicate with people. Until now, I can read good in German language. I can hear and understand good, but the problem is still I can't speak, because you don't have any way to practice the language. So for this reason, I depend on English. And for being or to continue in Germany, I think this is not my decision until now, because when I left my country, it comes, it's like an, how can I say this? I surprised. One day I have to leave my country, okay? And now I'm here in Germany. I think sometimes if I stay maybe 10 years or maybe more, and I would think to come back to Syria if the situation in Syria allowed me that, I think it will be a big problem for me, because I have to left everything in Germany and come back to Syria. And now we have a big problem. For example, I lost all of my friends. I lost all of my families. For example, my sisters, some of them in England, some of them in Norway. My father passed away. Actually, I would be strange again in Syria. So this is one of my nightmares when I think about the future. So I first prefer to live in the present. The past or the future, it's big problem for me. Believe me, sometimes I can't sleep. Now I have an allergy for 2 years, and the doctors at the end, he told me, you have problems, you have stress, and you have to face this problem. So I'm waiting what I don't know. I have to live here in Germany. This is good country and good people. I'm comfortable, and I didn't find, this is, the civilization shock. Because first of all, I've always studied about arts, for example, in Europe, and I read a lot about what's going on in Europe. And I don't have, this is a strict civilization, how can I say this, which prevent me to integrate with the German society. First of all, of course, I feel free here in Germany. And my first case is what's going on Syria. And all of my cartoons, it's telling this story. Okay. And I have a good opportunity with the Süddeutsche Zeitung in Munich. And that helped me a lot to feel that I'm working as a cartoonist. I'm dealing with the, the trend or the international affairs, okay? But believe me, I can't make, for example, a cartoons about what's going on in Germany, because you need to know more about what's going on in Germany. You have to study the politics, the history, and all of these things. So for this reason, I prefer to work with the international affair in this newspaper. Well, I prefer to work alone, because I don't need, to be a man for example, for this organization or that organization. I am an artist and I feel free. And I want to draw cartoons alone. I don't want somebody to affect my works. So for this reason, and I'm happy to be alone working here. And at the same time, you have the social media now, and you can, for example, contact with your friends and all over the world. Okay, so actually, physically, you are living in Germany, but I think in the same time, you have the whole universe. You can contact with them with your iPad or with your iPhone. I think this is something wonderful with this social media. Actually, somehow I feel safe, because, for example, I don't deal with, with dangerous cases, because I know and I heard about some people, maybe they killed or maybe they kidnapped in other country. So for this reason, I don't hit, the red lines. Okay, I understand. I'm not a hero. Okay, I am a person who has 60 years old, and I want to, spend my rest of my life in peace. Okay, I don't have, much time to fight or, okay, that's enough for me. I lost everything, okay? I'm trying to build now a family here in Germany until, waiting what's going on in Syria. Naturally, I belong to Syria, okay, because I spent all my life in Syria. But in the same time, I have, this is from polite, I have belonged to Germany because now I'm living here and I take care about this country. I'm worried if somebody, for example, when the COVID-19 came here to Germany, I worried because I think the safety of the Germans is something important for me, and the safety of this country is important for me because I'm a guest here and I have to respect the country. First of all, when we're comparing between Germany and Syria, of course, you have more freedom here in Germany. Okay, and I think I have more time. Okay, and that gives me, the time to concentrate on my works and give the best. Okay, and I received many, grants for my working here from German artists. For example, Dieter Hanitsch. He was an web cartoonist here in Germany, and he talked about me and about my works in television. And in the same time, he introduced me to the Süddeutsche Zeitung as a cartoonist. And in the same time, I have a friend. He is half German and half Syrian. He lives in Munich, and he took the first step to introduce me to German journalism life here in Germany. Yeah, so I have this support. And of course, because of my work, thank God, they consider me, I am a good cartoonist, I have good ideas, and I nominated for many other prizes in, for example, in Dubai or in France. Okay, so I'm happy for that too. When you say avoiding words, that's mean I am an artist. I have to draw, not write. Mm-hmm. Okay, and sometimes when you use your own language, that means your cartoon is only for example, for the 20 million Syrian, okay? But when I avoid words and I have these non-words cartoons, these cartoons will reach all of the people around, the globe, okay? So for this reason, and I prefer to use the cartoons, and that gives you some depth for the idea, okay? And if you want to write, and unfortunately, many cartoonists, they used writing on their cartoons. So for this reason, I consider that a joke. This is not caricature, okay? But they have the right to do that. But this is my viewpoint when I prefer not using words. Drawing cartoons, it's a complicated, how can I say that, a complicated work, okay? Because you have to be an artist, and you have to be a sociologist, and you have to be writers and poet, or you have to be, know more about culture, okay? Creativity, it comes, from your suffering, first of all. When you suffer, that, provide you with and good aspects to create cartoons, okay? And in the same times, when you feel that you are, defending an important case, okay, that will push you to give the best. Okay, so I think sometimes when you live in this situation, you make more creation and more creativity. Syria, it's like a dream, because the real Syria that I know, or I knew, or I lived, it go away. Okay, now we have another country. Okay, because many countries, they changed after the war. Okay, you can say, for example, Germany before the war, it is the same Germany like now. Sometimes some countries, they be better, for example, like Germany now, and sometimes will be bad, for example, like Syria. Because in Syria, through the history, for example, after 1945 until now, the country always go in a bad way. Okay, so now Syria, it's a different, and you have another mentality and another people and another ideas. So for this reason, I don't think if I come back to Syria, I will find my Syria. Okay, so this is a big problem now. So for this reason, I have, sometimes I'm looking for in the faces of German people, and some face, for example, who remind me with my friend in Syria. Okay, I try to find, for example, the similarity with the places or faces. Okay, and this is an experience. You can't get the end of experience. You have to live this experience every day. Okay, so for this reason, as I told you before, now I'm live for my present, and I don't think about future or the past, because it will hurt me a lot. Actually, I noticed that from Facebook. For example, when I do cartoons about Syria, for example, and I have a lot of friends on Facebook, and they were Syrian. I'm shocked because I don't know why they don't take care anymore about the cartoons. But for example, when I post something about my children's drawing illustration or one of my watercolors, and I saw the people, they have more reaction with these works. So now I prefer, or I'm planning now to go ahead to do something more about the children illustration or painting, because I think the people, they get sick of politics, and I think they know the truth. They don't, for example, need me now to tell them what's going on, because they live that. Okay, they are living this situation, and for this reason they don't have any reaction about my cartoons. Not especially for me. I saw this is a common case now for all the other cartoons too. First of all, I think when you make a cartoons with colors, that means you are trying to make a makeup for a tired face. Okay, so, and this is an ironic situation. And in the same time, I think black and white, it describe our crisis better than colors. But for example, I'm working, I use colors in Süddeutsche Zeitung because they asked me to add colors to my cartoons. Okay. And for me, there is a function for the colors in cartoons. Okay. Because sometimes when you use red and you concentrating on red, because you want to give you, for example, the meaning of the color of the blood. But when you add other, for example, green or yellow with red, that makes this red, make a less impact on us. Okay, so for this reason, I say always the color has a function. Okay, so for this reason, I prefer black and white.